For the last 30 days I have split my sleep into two segments. Today I'm gonna talk about the results of this experiment, some of the setbacks I encountered, and what you can learn from all of this. This is my bed, which has been my focus for the last 30 days. The idea when I started this was to split my 8 hours of sleep into 5 hours between 1 and 6 in the night and 3 hours between 3 and 6 during the afternoon. By doing it this way, the idea was that I would still get my 8 hours of sleep while being able to stay up really late and go up really early, which are two of my most creative periods during the day. By placing my sleep in the afternoon, I could furthermore skip my least creative time, which is between 3 and 6. Split sleep, or biphasic sleep, was natural before we invented the electric light. When it became dark, people went to bed and slept for a couple hours, then went up for 1 or 2 hours, and then went back to bed for some more sleep. Today most people put all of their sleep during the night for between 6 to 8 hours, but things like siestas are still evidence of biphasic sleep occurring. So I went for something that would work in the long run without affecting my health, or so I thought. It felt pretty strange to start this routine. I was home at my parents' house and they might have been wondering what the hell I was doing. But instantly I felt how this had a positive effect on my productivity. It might have to do with my usual routine where I go to bed early, and suddenly I didn't have to feel bad about getting into bed late. To aid me, I used earplugs and one of my favorite apps, Sleep Cycle, which wakes you up during a certain period when you are sleeping light. Usually the graph in this app for me during the night goes like up and down through where you are almost awake to where you are in deep sleep. But especially during the afternoon, I could see in the graph that I wasn't getting that much of quality sleep, which was quite alarming to say the least. This continued when I got back to my own apartment, which also have a greater light intake. So during the day the light is usually bluish, and during sunrise or sunset it's more yellow or reddish. So when the eye senses that there's blue light in the room, it's an indication for you to be awake, and that's kind of the science behind why you shouldn't be looking at screens before you go to sleep if you have a hard time to fall asleep. Anyhow, this probably was the main reason for my afternoon sleep being so-so. However, I didn't feel groggy or disoriented, which you can sometimes feel when you sleep during the day. But I think that might also have been thanks to the Sleep Cycle app. Just to make everything even worse, I got sick in the middle of everything. You can still hear it in my voice, I think. Because when I thought I was being okay, it got even worse. And I think it might have been the flu. So the whole idea of being able to sleep within this routine became kind of secondary to being able to live at all. And it totally broke the routine for those periods. Health was one of the concerns I had when I started out this experiment, and I haven't had this kind of flu for a very, very long time. Now, I don't think one should assume that I got the flu because of this experiment, but I don't believe it helped in avoiding it. Looking back at this month, I managed to hit most of the afternoon segments. However, it was a little bit hard during weekends when people wanted to hang out, and also on Mondays when I have floorball in the middle of everything. So I tried to adjust it a little, and that worked out pretty okay. At least sleep wasn't worse than it was already during the afternoons. The overall quality of my sleep doesn't seem to have had any negative effects on my productivity or creativity. If anything, I would say it was actually positive. To some extent, this affected how I felt towards my personal time. Usually I go to bed around 10, so if I'm creative in the evening, it can be a little bit stressful to know that I'll soon have to go to bed. But being able to stay up to 1, that was not an issue, quite the opposite. However, instead I felt this during the afternoon if I was being creative after lunch, and I knew that I had to go to sleep at 3. I might have increased my productive time a little, but because of my less than perfect sleep during the afternoons, it was hard to get up at 6 every morning. My body simply demanded more sleep, or I wasn't motivated enough to get up that early. So even if I love to stay up late, I essentially just shifted my productive time and lost those hours in the morning. If you want to try this out, I do really recommend that you find a way to block light during the day. A good blind can help, and also one of those can help a little, even if it's kind of uncomfortable to have something in your face while you're sleeping. The Sleep Cycle app is essential to me, as I have said, and maybe it's a good idea to have stated clearly what you want to do with the mornings to make it easier to go up that early. Then again, I usually get up that early, so I don't think it has to do that much about motivation. It's more about how rested you are. As an end note, I really wish that I could have both the late evenings and early mornings, because I do enjoy them very, very much, especially now when summer is coming. I don't think I will continue with this system. Maybe I'll try a lighter version of it, where I go to sleep a little bit later than I usually do and extend my afternoon apps. Or I'll try one where if I feel productive during the evening, I just let myself continue to stay up. But then I'll know that that is at the cost of the productive time in the morning. So I'll have to choose. Anyhow, it's been very educational to try this out, and I really hope that you have learned something from it too. If you liked this video, then please give me a thumb up. And if you have any ideas for other routines to try out, or any comments at all, then please comment below. If you want to continue to follow my journey in reaching my 4 creative goals before I reach 40, or just want to see more of those experiments, then please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.